Jill, you're so well known globally for your work with teachers, for your work as an educator and an author. Can you tell me a little bit about a key belief of yours with teachers and learners?
Well, I believe that first and foremost, children must have, and reading must be enjoyable. We've got to have children enjoying the reading process. There's no room for struggle or pain or boredom in reading. And one of the greatest challenges that a teacher has is to create a love of reading so children will go on to become lifelong readers. We've got to have readers today who will be readers tomorrow.
And tell me about learners today. They're so savvy, aren't they? How do they differ from, say, learners of 10 to 15 years ago?
Well, I think one thing about our learners today is that they're very visually sophisticated. Books have to compete with television and computers, and so children today need to have resources that are modern, that are cutting edge in design. We have to capture their interest and keep them captured with visually appealing material.
Yeah, and speaking of visually appealing, I know that teachers get very excited worldwide about your work. They absolutely love it, Jill, and so tell me why you've developed key links.
Well, I have been a classroom teacher and I know the challenges of this incredible job. It is very, very difficult for classroom teachers. I mean, they have all these children and they have to think about all their needs. They have, in particular for reading, they have to group children. And they have to think about that book and what am I going to ask them, what comprehension strategies am I going to bring out, what processing strategies can I bring out, what phonemic awareness and phonic knowledge can I focus on, what are the skills I have to bring out of this book. They have to think about all that, then they have all the other children around there that they have to keep a roving eye on. And when they've done that with one book, they have another group waiting and they have to have a different set of skills and a different set of comprehension strategies to ask and so on. So it's a very difficult task. So I just really wanted to be really supportive for those teachers, give them something that would help them and get them to ask the right type of questions and to hone in on the right type of skills. And also actually to help the students, to help the children, because they need to have these questions that are going to make them think critically, so they'll become critical thinkers. Because what we've got now is actually good decoders of text, but not so good in comprehending. And after all, reading for meaning is paramount. I think it's someone like Somerset Maugham said that the important thing that a book holds for you is the meaning it holds for you. So I wanted to develop a series of books that would support both the teacher and the children.
I know that the teachers that we've shown key links to, Jill, have been incredibly excited about the support that it provides for them. The comprehension, the oral language, the whole visual appeal of the focus panel, which doesn't necessarily lend itself to being stand out on the page, which is the best thing about it, I think, because teachers themselves find the focus panel and use it in their daily instruction. We've had numerous reports already of how valuable it is in the classroom. Is that what you were thinking of?
That's exactly what I was thinking of. There's nothing else, I don't think, out there that actually, to my knowledge, provides such an explicit panel as this. And they need that support. I mean, not necessarily have to use everything that's there, but it is there for them just in case, like a safety net.
And you know, there's no way a teacher can go through every single book in their reading instructional time and look at it as in-depth as you've done here.
There's no way. Teachers haven't got time. You know, we have just time-poor teachers and they're just so busy with all the things they have to do today. They just haven't got time. And so that's been done for them. Well, I think one of the other things is the emphasis on oral language, oral language is crucial to a child's development. And so therefore in these books we have given children opportunities to talk as partners, which is different to what perhaps other books have out there. So they can talk together and develop their oral language. Children are given ideas of ways they can ask questions. Instead of the teacher always asking the question, which is what is often done, it should be the children asking the questions. Perhaps another thing that's truly different is the approach in the guide, in the non-fiction that we have used. We have used a documentary style in the non-fiction books. The documentary style means that you can ask more inferential type questions with a style of writing like that. that perhaps in just normal non-fiction it's very hard to find inferential questions.
And you mentioned earlier on the visually savvy learners that we've got in our 21st century schools. Is this what you mean when you've been looking at the documentary style fiction, non-fiction?
Yes, that, and we have wonderful, incredible designers, and we have really incredible photographs that have been used in these books that are stunning, I think, for kids and interesting for kids.
The teachers and the kids that we've shown these to already are absolutely loving this sort of wraparound cover that you've developed. Is this unique?
That is very unique. I don't think many books have that wraparound cover, but it just really opens up and kids can really have a look at the whole picture really.
I just love the way it gives that extra dimension to the whole story before you even begin to decode and read.
They love that. Kids love seeing that whole story.
Tell us a bit about the home-parent link. Did you consider the home-parent link when you began to develop key links?
Well, I did, because the home and school relationship is absolutely crucial for a child learning to read. And, you know, I have witnessed so many times where children have been frustrated, bored, even really upset about reading, and it's because of the parent doing things in their innocence, perhaps, about the reading program or the reading process. They haven't understood the reading process, and so they cause their children to become very frustrated and bored and upset about it when they come home with their books. The focus panel will be so good for the parents. It will train the parents as well, so they'll learn actually how to teach reading and how reading should be taught.
So everybody's going to be on the same page.
Yeah,
the child is getting the same feedback, the same modelling, the same information from all sources. Jill, you're known for your shared book. You're known for the shared book experience that brings humour and love and laughter to the classroom. Teachers are always excited when they hear about a new Jill Eggleton shared book. And I know that Key Links is more than just guided reading. You've got other elements as well. Can you tell us about that?
Well, shared reading, of course, I'm very, very passionate about this approach of shared reading. I think this is one approach that really hooks children on, that really gives them a love of reading. And I know that wherever I go, teachers are always asking for new and fresh shared reading material. And so that's why I'm very excited to bring some Key Links shared books with the panel as well. It's a supportive down the side. But these books have got what I believe the elements of a true shared reading book must have: musical, magical, rhythmical texts. Shared reading, to me, is the soul, the heartbeat of the reading program.
Tell us about the teacher support in Key Links.
The teacher support in Key Links is what we call a teacher's toolbox, and we called it that, teacher's toolbox, because it is a toolbox. It's a practical teacher's resource book. I'm not a believer of having long, huge teachers' resource books like encyclopedias. Teachers don't read them. I mean, they can't. You haven't got the time. And so they sit on a library shelf and nobody opens them. So the teacher's toolbox is very, very practical, it's very simple, and it's got explicit things that they need to be, explicit steps for guided reading, for shared reading. It has how to take independent reading. It provides them with ideas to set up their learning centre so that others can be occupied while the teacher is taking a small group. It also has the assessment package, and most resources don't have all those things together, so this toolbox has the assessment package in it as well.
So this sounds truly different.
It is truly different, yeah.
A new dimension for teacher support.
Yeah.
Does the assessment package for Key Links have benchmark books?
Yes, it does. It has benchmark books at the end of each level, each stage of reading. It also has benchmark, non-fiction benchmark cards to go with those. At the emergent stage, it has pre-check and post-check books.
Jill, you've had global success all around the world with teachers loving and enjoying sales literacy. Tell us about the development into Key Links, because I know you've been working on Key Links for a number of years now, with sales being 10 years old. And tell us, why do teachers need Key Links?
Well, I'm very proud of the sales series, but I think you need to keep refining. And Key Links provides something different, something fresh, something new. It provides teachers with this explicit support that we've been talking about in the guided and the shared reading. And it all the Key Links books build on each other. So there's a spiralling up with the foundation, and then building upon that foundation with the skills and so on. If we don't build a firm foundation, the walls crumble. So it's important to have that spiralling up.
So what are some of the elements that Key Links has?
Well, one of the very important elements that threads its way through the fiction text, I think, is humour. I just love humour, and I know children love humour. It's an element that needs to be in children's books, because I always say, how can a child be stressed about learning if he's laughing? So that's one of the very key elements. The other thing, I think, is that they're modern in design, and the incredible illustrations and photographs, as I think we've mentioned. We have exceptional artists and designers, and they make the stories just come alive.
Is there anything else about the stories themselves?
Yes, one thing that we have tried to do is give children consistent messages about values, not in a contrived way, but in a way that it just threads itself through again through the story. So we have values like bullying. Well, it's not a value, but it's an issue that we talk about, because it is a very big issue today. And things like values like sharing and caring, those are very important messages we need to get through story, and we've done that in the Key Links.
It sounds like they are embedded in 21st century learners' lives.
Absolutely.
And finally, Jill, what do you think are the keys to a child's learning progress?
Well, I think there are three keys. First one is practice, success and enjoyment. Those are the keys that will fit the locks for Key Links. I believe there must be practice. Children have to practice. They learn through practice, one of the conditions of learning. They must have success, and above all, they must have enjoyment. We must create positive attitudes to reading, and so that children will be forever readers.
Thank you so much for talking about Key Links. I know that there are many parts of Scholastic around the world that are very much looking forward to this exciting junior reading program. I think Key Links is going to change the way that we think about reading with our teachers, with our learners, and also the homeschool partnership. And it's a great honour to be able to release Key Links with you, Jill. Scholastic is looking forward to a new generation of Key Links learners.
My pleasure, great honour.